What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you guys know, since I've been back from Connecticut, we haven't really done much with the R32. We did a boost controller, did flex fuel. Sean's looked at it and you haven't even went for a ride.
I fixed the squeaky belt.
The squeaky belt?
The alternator belt was loose.
Got that all fixed up. It needs tuned and it needs painted. It needs a catch can installed on it. Basically today what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this thing apart and we're gonna start sanding the outside of it and getting this thing prepared for paint. So I did a, what was it, like a 1 week engine swap. I put the 2JZ back in my S14 in preparation for grid life.
Yeah.
And then now we're gonna do like a 1 week or like a week and a half paint job to get this thing ready for slush, which the slush meet is pretty cool because Tommy F is coming out here. I would like to make him proud. You know, obviously we did some cool stuff in the engine bay up at his shop, but now we are back at my shop. Now it's time to do our thing, right? Sean hasn't went for a ride with me yet. He hasn't even experienced this thing.
I've driven in and out of the shop about 10 times, but I actually haven't like driven it or rode it.
We haven't went for a little bit of a rip. So today, before we pull this thing apart and we start doing some paint, take Sean for a little ride, see what he thinks. We're gonna get straight to work. Does it rip? It's not bad. It's really not bad. I mean, it doesn't rip as hard as
Twin turbo?
The JZ, but it rips pretty good. I mean, for what it is, it's really smooth.
Some pump gas?
Pump gas, 15 pounds, and it's not tuned yet.
What tune's on it? Just like a base map?
It's heavy tuned. Yeah, it's basically base tuned with a little bit of fueling adjusted. It's still like conservative timing, all that other stuff.
Feels really weird.
How does it feel to be on that side of the car?
It's just interesting. It's like a little go-kart. Like it's just so like stiff and like feels great. Like it feels, I don't know how to explain it. That's sick.
Like it's like a smooth.
Feels like you're sitting on the ground. Like it's so low.
It's like a super smooth pull. You know,
It's just gradually smooth, like you said. Yeah, it doesn't.
but it keeps pulling.
It's not like, just like nothing, an instant. It's just consistent.
There's not like a giant hit.
Exactly.
But it just feels smooth, you know?
It does.
That was one thing I noticed when I was in Tommy's 33. And that's what, like, one of the reasons why I even went with the twin turbo is because I rode it in his 33. Whereas this thing, it's not as fast, obviously. It doesn't have that, like, rip your face off.
Yeah.
But it's just so smooth and, like, good.
The power
You know?
band
And that's, like, I think what these cars are, like, meant to be like.
Yeah.
You know, they're supposed to be good. Like, filled out.
Feels so good, dude.
And we were shifting at 6,500 RPM. It goes to, like, 8.
Yeah, it feels really good.
You know?
This thing's sick. Let me rip it.
Oh, you can drive it. Okay.
It's not like ridiculous.
Doesn't that sound cool?
Sounds so cool.
What do you think about being on the right side?
It's so weird. Is it 5-speed trans?
Yeah. You like almost get backwards.
Yeah, it like takes some use. Like you like almost want to start first gear over. Like everything.
Over
It's all
here.
the same. It's just you're driving on this side.
And so that's like
Sick.
14 pounds of boost on pump gas at super conservative timing. We should be able to turn this thing into like 20 to 25 pounds of boost on E85, and it'll probably make about 400 horse, or actually close to 500 horse, which is almost what my drift car is making right now. That's kind of cool though. Yeah. Cruise these corners like a little bit quicker. Don't run into that guy. I didn't want to like mess up what this car was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because this is, I feel like, what it was supposed to be.
That's kilometers.
That's like 125. That's probably like a little over.
145. What kilometers are faster?
Like, and it's at 185 degrees.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I mean, it has the giant fan on the front. You know.
Down low, it just needs a little bit of touch up on the fuel. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah, it's like lean. The tip in.
Exactly.
So now that we're back from the little drive, Sean, what do you think?
It's great.
Nice rig, right?
Yeah, a lot of fun to drive.
You got to experience this thing before we tear it completely apart. We got to clean it. Obviously, it has some paint that's missing. I don't really know anything about this car or what happened to it before me, other than I gave it the fix. But now we're gonna make this thing beautiful. It looks really good, right?
It really does. Other than the little bit of
I mean, it has just these little like imperfections like everywhere, but like overall, this thing is super presentable. This would be like the perfect car to just like get in and drive. So when Tommy got this car, he essentially traded parts around. So didn't have a bumper or something like that, or maybe it did have a bumper, but it was missing a hood. So he had a car that had a hood and he put it on here. This hood does have some damage to it. It has a couple little dings and dents and stuff. Overall, it's a nice looking hood, but
I don't know what happened to the roof.
I think it's just like either OEM. Look at that. It almost looks like there's like a tape line. The engine bay is a little bit more white than the outside of the body. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually match the body on the outside to the engine bay and make this whole thing kind of look like that. Mm-hmm. All right, boys, so Sean has been here today for a little bit, standing out, blocking out some dents. There's like a weird little ripple thing right here. What do you think's up with that?
I think there's just like a little, small little dent right there. But
there's like a tiny little dent, but blocked most of that stuff out. Man, should we just pull the window? The front windshield?
All of them.
Every single one of them.
It's way easier to do the body work. You don't scratch anything. You don't mess up any moldings. You get paint behind there like you're supposed to. You do a quality paint job. This car deserves a quality paint job on it.
We actually started a little bit yesterday because the rear window needs out of here no matter what. This trim is just, somebody did something and they like RTV'd it is what they did. So I think we could get away with using like a universal. So we should be able to kind of hopefully duplicate that. But since we are at the junkyard, they actually had this thing. So this is a induction heater. Junkyard Dave had one of these things and we used it on the Evo. We used it for the Corvette. We used it for a bunch of things. Works really good for pulling windows. So we're gonna do the back window, the quarter glass, all that stuff, and get this thing out. So we decided to go ahead and pull the quarter glass out of here as well as the rear window. It looks like the rear window has been out before.
Yeah,
there's some broken glass. For some reason, I never even seen these things because I think the rear seats kind of go up a little bit taller. You know, they kind of like sit right here. So I'd never seen this, but that's insane. Look at those things. Alpine stuff. The front door speakers actually had some pretty good, I don't know what these are called, but
42 bucks.
You could see they got those things right there. Those are cool though. I mean, that's interesting. Those are freaking staying with it. So one of the major things that was wrong with this car, I guess one of the only things that was really wrong with the shell, a little bit of this rust right here. So you can see once we pulled off the side skirt, I just seen this little piece right here. That was all that was peeking out. Oh! But as you can see right here, a little bit more rust than I would have hoped. And then right here, this piece got a little bit bigger once we started clearing it all out. So, oh my god. Is that new in box?
It's new in box, I think, on eBay.
That's pretty cool. I almost want to get some new ones, and then there's a little piece right here. Quarters have already been rolled, so we're gonna hammer and dolly these things, clean this guy up a little bit, and then we're gonna cut this metal out and put some new stuff. Cut this out, clean up all that stuff on the inside, treat it, and then put a little metal patch piece back on it, and should be good to go. R32 is in the booth, and we are getting ready to spray its first coat of primer. I think that's pretty much all I have to do. One coat of primer, just to like, you see
a couple
right here,
spots.
some spots. We're gonna use some direct to metal primer.
We were just gonna spot prime it, but then there was like a lot of rock chips and kind of some dumb little things. So we decided just to
do the whole thing, the whole unit. So the rust repair that we did down here on the bottom, you can see Sean went ahead, put some Duraglass on the top of it, and then just a little coat of filler right there. We had a little ripple right here in the quarter panel, so we got all that stuff figured out as well because somebody did roll the quarter panels previous to us. They're not really good. You can see there's barely any filler just right there. As long as we don't ever try to put like a freaking 12-inch wide tire on here, should never have any issues with it. So everything's pretty much masked off just for the primer. I already went ahead and I already bought the paint for it, but you guys will be seeing that probably in another video. We're gonna get this thing in primer. How'd it turn out?
Looks fantastic. There's a few minor little things to fix, but it looked really good. Looked really straight. Which honestly, it wasn't bad to begin with. You know.
Yeah, I mean this thing was really, really clean.
Majority of the issue was just like where paint wasn't laid right the first time, and it was like chipping. So you know you get feather stuff and kind of clean all that up.
Well, like most of the cars that come from Japan, they get like a quick respray.
Yeah, exactly.
Before they come over.
Maybe on the roof too. Like we spent a lot of time on the roof, honestly, just
sanding all that
sanding
stuff
all
out.
the stuff, like getting all the paint down to like the original paint where we had something good to stick to. So
it's pretty good. It got a little bit of a run right there, but that was my fault because I made the paint. I made it.
Well, I made one batch. I was spraying based off of how I made the batch, how I was comfortable spraying. Trevor made another batch that was really reduced, and I was spraying at the same pace. And then all of a sudden, it was a lot thinner than the batch that I had made. So
there she is, boys. She is in primer. This thing should be getting painted. Hopefully, when? Hopefully, cross our fingers, maybe Tuesday we could have this thing. By the end of the day, we should be able to have this thing painted. And then we're trying to get this thing back together for the Slush Motorsports Festival, which is going to be October 1st. Tommy Effia is coming, Dustin Williams is coming. I think Daily Driven Exotics is coming. I'll be there with this thing. I'm gonna try to get the Corvette back together. I'm gonna have the S14 together, so we're gonna be doing drift ride-alongs and stuff with that. We're gonna be selling merchandise. We're gonna have, Tommy's gonna be there. He could come and see if this is,
see if he approves it, yeah.
See if he gives this thing the old stamp of approval. Yeah, tons of work and things have been going on behind the scenes. I'm basically preparing for our biggest giveaway yet. So if you guys are stoked for that, that actually starts at the Slush event too, and that car will be there as well. Come out to the Slush event, click the link in the description. I have a unique code that'll save you guys some money. Yeah, I'd like to see you guys there. And I wanna see this thing there and see what Tommy thinks of the Trevi spec.
Yep.
Trevi spec, paint job, all the things, all the stuff, but appreciate you guys watching. Also, let me know if you guys like this video. I know there was so much work that went into this thing, but I feel like we've done a lot of paint and body work recently. So we just kind of, we didn't want to go into like the super detail like we have done in the past. But if you guys want to see more detailed videos on paint and body work, there might be another car that's sitting right here that needs a little bit of stuff here in the future. Nonetheless, I appreciate you guys watching this video. See you guys in the next one.